I think for me, my message is to the students also at the master classes that they should try to develop a very personal playing. You know, personal playing and very big differences in sound and in colors.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm
Nice
Peter
to meet you.
Schuhmayer. Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
What is your name?
My name is Sijun Kim. Sijun.
And you play apparently violin, but
Right.
what piece do you play for me?
From to Waxman Carnem Fantasy.
Oh, fantastic. Great, I'm looking forward.
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 한국예술종합학교에서 지금 3학년으로 바이올린 전공으로 재학 중인 김시준이라고 합니다. 제가 이번에 마스터 클래스 하게 될 왁스만 카르멘 판타지는 굉장히 솔리스틱한 곡이고 또 굉장히 즐길 요소도 많고 또 각 에피소드마다 변하는 분위기에 따라서 굉장히 보여드릴 게 많은 그런 곡입니다. 아무래도 이런 솔리스틱한 곡이 이제 무대에서 연주하기가 굉장히 좀 까다롭기 때문에 또 그런 부분이 굉장히 전 아직 미숙하다고 생각을 해서 그런 부분을 조금 배워보는 큰 도움이 되지 않을까 싶어서 선택하게 됐습니다. 아마 평생 숙제가 아닐까 싶은데 무대에서 이렇게 좀 더 자유롭게 어떤 부담이나 뭐 그런 욕심 같은 걸 버리고 어떻게 조금 더 자유롭게 할 수 있을까 하는 그런 고민이 항상 있는 것 같습니다.
Thank you. Bravo.
Very much.
Wonderful, wonderful. Fantastic playing. Very good. So now, tell me, why did you choose this piece to play for me?
Because it is very solistic.
Yeah. Apparently, because also you like it very much, because I feel you like it, and it's very virtuosic, and you're a wonderful virtuosic player. So I think you also wanted to show me your abilities, right?
Yes.
So yes, I think, basically speaking, what we are doing when we play our instrument is try to express the content of the music, right? So alles was in the everything what is in the music, we try to show to the audience the characters, right?
Yes.
Yes. And for this reason, I think it's very important that we have a lot of spices what we use for the dish. That we have a lot of abilities what we could add to our dish musically. That means, and the spices are the colors of sound, intensities, right?
Yes.
We have in this piece is a very emotional piece, and I think, but very big variety of emotions, and this kind of emotion we need to transform. And for this, the best way of doing is to use also different colors in our playing. And therefore, I think what we should try to find out to distillate what color we need for what place. So that not basically we have a very good sound, what you have, wonderful sound, but we do not use always the same sound, you know?
Yeah.
So that means we have a variety of tools how to play it differently. Of course, as we know, it's the amount of bow, it's the contact point, but nevertheless, is also the left hand, the use of the vibrato, for example. So that we do not think, okay, automatically each note has to be vibrated. I think personally, the structure of the music and the basic of the music must be presented by the right hand. So the right hand is our voice, you know. We think, we speak with the right hand. But additionally, you know, to the clearness of the right hand and intensity of the basic sound, we need to have a variety of vibrato.
Yes.
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 And the vibrato, you know, if we intensify the vibrato, we should do it on purpose. And when we release the vibrato or play without vibrato, this should be also kind of matching the musical character. You know, and for example, musically, what is very important, that we do not have kind of single parts of the music. The music has always to have some kind of connection, especially if we make it a statement and then something belongs to the other one. If there is kind of a fermata, general break, of course, the music kind of stops somehow. But you know, if we have to, for example, this place,
Yes.
da 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 dee, da 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 dee da. So that means the break there is part of the music.
Yes.
So I would not play the statement dam da 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 da. So dam da da da. So try to continue the intensity during the break. Okay. About the beginning, you know, the beginning is very very virtuosic. Yeah, very good what you play up. But when you go down, don't be stressed and rush.
Okay.
You know, we have as a listener, you have always to feel, to transport each note to the listener. And if you're playing too fast, the listener cannot understand.
Okay.
And it depends also what kind of place. You know, if the place is not very big, I can hear very good, very direct. But if you think there's a big hall, you know, I think you have to play a little bit more articulated. Okay? So would you be so kind to play the beginning once more? And first of all, this when you go down, the triplets, not rushing. And the other thing is the break should be part of the music. Okay?
Yes.
This is something also I try to deliver in my teaching because I think we have a big responsibility to the composer. So what the tool of the composer is the text she or he writes. And so he can write or she can write everything to the score. And then we get the score and we look at the score and see kind of the message of the composer. And we have to try to transform the text into a story. But nevertheless, I have to use, you know, the information I got from the composer. And then I can try to create this kind of whole story, and this I have to deliver to the audience. And this process, I think, is not always very easy. And especially for students, that's, in my opinion, the most important thing for an interpreter, for a player, you know, for a musician, to transform this story which was originally intended by the composer to the audience.
Okay, sorry that I stopped you. But what I said, we want to transport, you know, the structure of the music, right? And when you have this going up, bam, ba, 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 and it always intensifies. So I think each step should be led by the upper voice, right? Ba, 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 ba. So really try, bam, 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 bam. That you climb up somehow the hill, so that not each note ba ba bo ba bo ba bo. It's the same way. Ba bo ba bo ba bo ba bo ba ba ba. And then that we intensify. You know, try it with your bowing. That you intensify the articulation. Could you? Yeah. So at the beginning, ba ba bo ba bo ba bo ba bo ba 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 ba. A little more articulate.
Okay.
Could you once try to start the beginning, not so slow, because we want to find out what we have to do with the bow. And I think also what is needed that the notes don't have the same length. Pa to pa to pa to pa pa to pa to. Yes, the only thing is, because now you do it very careful what I said, but it appears a little bit unnatural, right?
Yes.
Yes. So what we have to try to do, that you do not think too much, you know, try that you just try to feel, to intensify how you deal with the bow. Yes, and now what I would do to increase also the tempo at the end, so that you really start slow, pa ba 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 ba, and increase the tempo at the end a little bit more, to get this feeling of. Yeah, speed up at the end. Yes. Speed up, yes. Yes. Yes, beautiful. So it was very good what you did when you came up. Also the triplets were very clear now. Very good, bravo. Now I wonder, you play da 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 dee do. I would enjoy the long note, the ba da da dee da. And you know there's a big step.
Yeah.
And in the music, the big steps has mostly very big meaning. Emotionally meaning.
Yes.
So therefore, I would not rush into the A sharp.
아무래도 현악기 중에서 가장 음역대도 높고 또 굉장히 화려한 테크닉이나 그런 것들을 더 자유자재로 할 수 있는 게 큰 매력이 아닌가 그렇게 저는 생각합니다. Excellent. Yes, that was wonderful. Bravo. Very good. Now, we come to Carmen herself, you know. She's a very kind of passionate person, you know, but she's refined, you know, she's not direct. Yes. She's like this, you know.
La da dee da dee da da da. I want to play la da dee da dee da da da. This is too kind of direct.
Yeah.
I want to la da dee da dee da da da. Ya da 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 da. The chromatic ya da da. Come to me. La da da. The chromatic thing is part of the music. So it's not the same weight. Ba ba ba. Ya, da, da. Directly. Yes. Yes, great. Could you once try? For me now, just for us, that you play not all the notes with vibrato, that you just try once a version, no vibrato. Okay. Because we want to just to place the note quite perfectly, you know, in terms of timing and meaning. So the bow, again, is the voice, like you sing with the bow. Yes. Then there is a difference. Did you see? Ba la da dee da dee da dee da. Ba la da. So there's a dotted note. Ya da da dee da da. Ya da dee da dee 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 da. Ba da 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 da. And this is a break. So there's a difference, right? And take your time. La da 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 da. Ba ra. To have a new character. Of course, we have a shift into it, but I would play the dotted note not too short. Ya da 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 dee dee da. And then, as a surprise, pa-ra, like a step forward. Da da ya da 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 da. La da. Second time. Ba da dee da. Ba dum bum bur. So this appears to be a little bit more lighter, right?
Yeah, okay.
So this we have. He marks us, you know, this kind of sliding in, shift, but the second time is a pause and is no shift.
One more time, no vibrato.
No, I think it's fine. You used to be better, but don't forget, you know, about the intensities. Yes, so that's good because the answer at the second time is different to the answer musically of the first time. So the answer of the first time is like a surprise. It's some energetic, you know, something just blows up. But the second time, the answer is a little more timid, going back, you know. The first time I'm active, you know, offensive, and the second time is a little bit making a step, passive. Yes, exactly. So for me, you know, maybe Carmen says at the first time, yes, and the second time, no. Okay? Yes. So, but this was excellent. Maybe if you want, you can play the second start. Yes, I would make a difference. The first time again. Ba-dee-da-dee. So now he writes a shift. Ba-ra-ba-yam. So I would not go back because I think a shift always shows some kind of emotions, right? And I think when we are very emotional, we are kind of active. Especially when we go up. So try that you use this shift for increasing the emotions. And yes, and if I would be you, I would not vibrate so much at the upbeat. Good, yes. Before we go on, you know, I think what you do is very, very good. But what we have to, I think what we have to bring out a little bit more is the structure of the notes, you know, in a figure. Yes. So there is a difference between ba da do da di da 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 di da di. We also have to follow the line. If you play da do do da di di do da di, it does not really meet the meaning, I think, you know. So that means when I play di di da da ya da do da, I have to identify where is a step or where is it just a second maybe going down. La da do da ya da ya da. So my bow should not make kind of one stroke with the same speed. Not like Buddha da da. We should try ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da da da. So could you try out very slow? And also we are now a little bit kind of filtered in our emotion. We just try to find out what should we do with the structure. So just show me, you can play that, we don't have to start here, you can play directly just for us now to try out the meaning of the notes. Ya, da, 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 di. So we need to have different speeds.
저는 막 그렇게 정말 잘하는 연주자이다기보다는 그냥 정말 꾸밈 없는 음악가나 그런 오래오래 건강한 음악가가 되고 싶습니다.
Yes, I think it's excellent how you start. And then, you know, when you intensify, I think the intensity of the bow increases before the bow change. So before we play ya da 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 dee dee da da dee dee da da dee dee da da, you know, I intensify the end of the bowing, of the bow.
사실 연주자가 되기 위해서는 이제 콩쿠르라는 것을 통해서 이제 이름을 또 알려야 되고 또 그런 면도 있지만 저는 아직 무대 경험이 제가 막 연주가 많은 것도 아니고 또 콩쿠르라는 그런 무대를 통해서 굉장히 콩쿠르이 압박이 많이 되는 장소거든요. 그래서 그런 것들에서 콩쿠르를 다니면서 이제 그런 부담감이나 그런 것들을 조금 더 많이 경험하면 또 본 무대에서는 더 그런 것들이 좀 쉬워질 수 있겠다 싶어서 네. 이제 앞으로 국제 콩쿠르를 이제 아무래도 많이 준비를 해야 될 것 같습니다. 이제 국제 콩쿠르 다니면서 더욱더 많은 레파토리와 또 그런 또 세계적으로 권위 있는 학생들과도 경쟁을 하면서 좀 네, 많이 공부를 하고 싶습니다.
They are very important for young students to develop or to start a career and to make a network, to get concerts, to get connections. Otherwise, they couldn't go and play concerts. They could just try to learn and to train and to make music, but we want to present, of course, our music to an audience. And competitions definitely are supporting the way of getting concerts. That's the good thing. The bad thing, in my opinion, is that it is like it's delivering a competitive character of music making, which the music is not about at all. You know, music making does not have anything to do with like playing faster or playing better or playing this or that. It's about presenting our feelings, you know, delivering our feelings, and therefore I find it a little bit difficult for young people to understand that even when they play at a competition, they should try to make just the music and to enjoy and to feel like it's a concert just playing for an audience. Sometimes it's very difficult, I think, to get rid of this competitive character that you play against somebody. You have to be better than somebody, and this is not very healthy, I have to say. So my advice to young people going to competitions, don't think about all the other competitors, just think about the people who are playing for. In this case, it's just a jury or audience there. But I think as much as we are able just to play like a concert, a normal concert, the better it is for our feelings.
Hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. My name is Peter Schumayer. What's your name?
My name is Ini Park. It's a really pleasure to meet you.
Yes, the same for me. I'm looking forward. What are you going to play for me?
Yeah, I'm going to play Schumann's Violin Sonata No. 2 in first movement.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah.
Looking forward.
Thank you. 안녕하세요. 바이올리니스트 박인희입니다. 지금 국립심포니 오케스트라 제1바이올린 단원으로 활동하고 있고 앙상블 더 K와 에텔 쿼텟의 리더로도 활동하고 있습니다. 저는 오늘 슈만 바이올린 소나타 2번 B121의 1악장을 연주를 할 건데요. 워낙 제가 슈만도 가장 좋아하는 낭만 작곡가이기도 하고 또 이번 안 해봤던 곡을 또 이번 기회에 새로 한번 공부를 해보고 싶어가지고 네, 선택을 하게 됐어요.
Okay, thank you very much. Bravo. Yes, very good.
저는 일단 음악에는 배움의 끝이 없다고 생각을 해요. 이게 내가 지금 어느 위치에 있든 얼마나 뭐 오래 활동을 하든 간에 뭔가 외국 그 교수님들의 다양한 어떤 스타일이나 거기서 배울 수 있는 것들을 좀 많이 흡수를 하고 싶고 네, 그런 점에 있어서 마스터 클래스가 너무 도움이 많이 되는 것 같아서 네.
I think you're doing pretty nicely. Very good. You know, what I would add, you know, in terms of clearness of the structure, you know, sometimes I have the feeling that the legato is a little bit too much the same meaning of everything, you know. So, in my opinion, you know, a legato means that the notes are connected to each other, but not necessarily that they have the same meaning or the same weight or whatever, you know. So I think what's absolutely necessary that in the legato that we feel kind of free, a little bit more free. When you start with the chords, try also that the chords kind of can breathe, you know, that they have to kind of freedom, especially at the end, you know. And I mean, it's very sad that we don't have a piano for this piece, because as we know, we are just at 50% maximum is violin. The most music is also in the piano, of course. But what we have to try to do things which are instrumental issues. Okay. So let's try out the chords once, and you try, please, that the chord at the end is not cut. Okay. Yes, you know, I have the feeling. So you start the chord, and then you are pretty intense after the start. Could you start that you are intense at the beginning, and then let the violin sound. You know what we usually do when we play? We motivate the instrument to sound. But sounding is the instrument itself, you know. Yeah. If we are kind of cutting the sound too much with weight, the instrument doesn't like it.
I think I would be happy if the students from my master classes take something what is kind of giving impulses to their future and to their future studies and to their future playing. And what I think what is very important that the students which are attending my master classes, that they understand that the music is delivered with the sound. And the sound what we are doing is something what is transforming the text into the message of the music, you know. And that they really understand that the message of the music is the most important thing, and not so much if I play perfectly well, like in tune, or of course this is very important, but in my personal opinion, I would much more like to accept a wrong note if this note has some kind of meaning to me, or is emotional meaning to me, or is very special in the message.
Also this one. Also when it is a little bit awkward, you know, the left hand right, that the right hand stays very relaxed. Yes, I think the chords itself are very good. Just now, you know, when we have this, the dotted notes, give freedom to the end. I have the feeling you press a little bit too much at the end. So initiate the sound, but then let it just flow. Did you realize that you push at the end, you play da, Exactly. You know, I have the feeling, although a violinist, I have the feeling that the piano can be for us very good as a model for producing the sound. You know, personally, I have the feeling sometimes we have the tendency as string players that we think when we play that the sound should be sustained in a kind of playing from the beginning until the very end. But actually, I think it's like singing, you know. And when we think, like when we normally sing for our purpose, not like educated singers, which are kind of have very much volume and technique. But when I sing pa, I think pa, tam, pam, pam, pa, pam, 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 pa. So what happens at the beginning is the intensity pa, and then it's kind of a little bit like fading out. Pa, pam, 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 pa. And this is something what happens in piano, you know. When the piano you hit the keyboard, bam, and the hammers inside meet the string. And then the instrument makes the resonances, you know, the sound, right? And I have the feeling that this we should do with our bow also. So that when I play, so that the beginning of the notes get a little bit more importance and clearness. Ti da da da, like speaking, you know. So therefore, try also when you have this long, that you really enjoy the ending, but not pressed. Excellent, yes, excellent. Now when we go on. Be careful that you are not using the same speed on 4 notes. So the structure of one figure is very varied in terms of the line. So we do it the first time, which is still a little bit trying out. Second time we are more self-confident already. And then we continue, oh, let's go on. And this is what happens in the music. But make it really, you know, try the sforzato is really very energetic. Yes, but in this case, I would not emphasize on the 3. I would not play. I would emphasize a little bit more on the top note. You notice that. Now we go down. It goes pa da da dum pa da da. Sorry, but you're all confident already at the beginning because you're playing. Yeah. I think in terms of dynamics, it was excellent now. But let's try to speak. Not the same. Yes, wonderful, exactly. That was much better. That was much more kind of natural. You know, and personally, I would use the three to get a little bit more the direction to the continuation. So that I have the feeling of an upbeat. Ya ta 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 ta. Yes, good, good, good. And now we can play a note which is a little more energized. You see, that also the sound has a lot to do with the character of the music. So, and we have to get a lot of variety in sounds. Use different kind of brushes when you paint your painting. Use different kind of brushes. A big brush, smaller brush, smallest brush. Yes. Is it possible that somehow I can feel a little bit more the metronome? You know, the pulse in three. Yes, very good. Very good. And now tell me, what are our tools to intensify those main notes? What can we do?
More a little more pressure.
Oh, pressure. Pressure is a dangerous word. We do not like pressure. Pressure is a little bit negative, you know. We do not like somebody puts pressure on us, right? Pressure or put pressure on you. No. I would not say pressure. I would say intensity, but I think it's to do with the speed of the bow. And to intensify the vibrato, you know, the kind of vibrato, you know. When I play this kind of E very relaxed, I play, you know, slow vibrato, slow bow. Maybe the contact point close to the fingerboard or closer. When I intensify this A, medium size, let's say, I already increased the speed of vibrato and also a little bit of the speed of the bow. And then when I play most excited, what I have to do, because if I would speed up again with the bow, I would do this. So I go a little bit closer to the bridge. I mean, it depends on the dynamics, but if I want really to be completely excited, I have to control and to get the contact point closer to the bridge and play a slower ball to find the right balance between speed and contact, okay? So that's what we have to do. Now we have a different character and a different sound. And now we come to a complete emotional stop somehow.
아무래도 지금 이제 졸업하고 오케스트라 생활을 한 지가 좀 오래됐는데, 그러니까 오케스트라 너무 사랑하고 좋지만 동시에 이게 체력적으로 일단 너무 힘들다 보니까 그게 지금 제일 큰 고민이고, 이게 체력적으로 그거를 좀 잘 안배를 하면서 또 내 다른 솔로나 실내악도 많이 하고 싶고, 네, 좀 그런 점에 있어서 일단 일상생활을 잘 영위를 하면서 음악도 내가 좋아하는 음악도 좀 같이 하고 싶은데, 네, 그게 제일 좀 고민이죠.
Yes, very good. Okay, well, yes, much better. Now we have this kind of half notes which are a little bit like a bell sound. Bum, bum, bim, bum. Although at this start not accented like later, but it's. And we should not forget also to make a crescendo there. And the only thing, what I would be careful, I would not play like. Intensify the vibrato going until the end. Also here, I think the piano is a little bit more as a example for us. Pom, pom, pim. So that the clearness, the beginning. Also the structure, how the notes are placed. I think that's very important. So the beginning, like when we sing, when we speak, pop, I go there now. Yes, exactly. Yes, much better, much better. So you can be sure in most of the places when instruments play together, like it's happening here with the piano. You know, the piano is very active. And that when one instrument has a long note, another instrument has small notes or more energetic notes, right? So to avoid, this is something which happens in chamber music so often, you know, but also of course in sonatas here, because we already play with another instrument. That when I play, it's always kind of covering a little bit too much the other instrument. The small notes, you know. So I think that the structure is very important, even if I make a short stop. Did you see the upper was pretty okay, but the downbow was pretty good, okay, but the upper it did not release the sound because the bow is very heavy on the lower half, right? So our tendency is to make a diminuendo on the downbow, and on the upper we make a crescendo because the bow is more heavy here. So which we normally you say, okay, I make the upbeat to the forte, I play upper. Okay, there's no doubt about this because it's intensifying. But in this case, the note should not. Maximum the phrasing is intensifying, but not the intensity of the note. And there is no crescendo from the first to the second bar. So what you have to train, what you have to be careful, that your hand can lift the weight of your right hand. And if I have my right hand like this too much, you know. It's very difficult. So I have to use the smaller fingers to lift the weight. If I make an up bow, I keep very much the control of those fingers. Because the bow and the sound is light. So very much also wrist. If you enlighten the wrist, you enlighten the sound. Yes, excellent, excellent. Before we go on, because it's, you know, I have the feeling always it's very important to solve all the things in detail, then we can use it in many other places, right? If we just do, oh, okay, let's fix it, it's pretty good, okay, let's go on. I think it's not very helpful, right? So I think we should really try to solve all the issues from the start until the end. So the thing is now, I think it was already an improvement for the song. You used also good more bow, and it was lighter. But you know when we have to intensify in the crescendo, we get more excited, but we have to get a more focused sound. So therefore, from lots of bow, I go a little bit slower bow, and the contact point goes closer to the bridge. If I decide to play on the G string, the more I have to do it. But even on the D string, when I'm closer to the bridge, I have to have slower bow, so I get more open sound. Can you try, just before you play the whole, could you try the third bar? Excellent, much better, much better. Just be careful that your bow is not traveling from this to this within the same sound, yeah? Okay, that was much better. And here, don't lose contact. I think between the notes, it's just a matter of releasing the bow a little bit, not stopping completely, because if I stop the bow, it's a matter of keeping the flow of energy and be intense at the same time. Yes, much better. The contact point was much better. Now, what we do, we come to the shoulder. You know what we should do to achieve a big sound. We do not want to work too hard. We use the weight of our body. In this case, we use the weight of our arm. Let the weight of your arm produce the sound. You see, my shoulder is pretty down. I'm completely relaxed and I use the weight of the arm to go into the string. And it's very... I do not work, you know, it's very easy. I can play for hours. So try that you fall into the string. Yes, much better, much better. Did you see? Is it a big difference? Yeah. I have the feeling when somebody tells me, I had to play so loud for a long time, I'm so exhausted. I think then something is not very natural. So in my opinion, we should be able to play for hours, forte, fortissimo, if we do it correctly and use our body, our natural way. And I think to use the natural movements of our body in our playing is the key to relaxation. Okay? So I think that's it for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. 저는 음악을 하면서 항상 이게 내 삶을 이끌어가는 원동력이거든요. 그러니까 하는 사람도 그렇지만 그걸 결국은 듣는 사람도 그냥 내 내면을 음악을 통해서 그냥 가감없이 보여줄 수 있는 그런 장이 됐으면 좋겠고, 사람들이 좀 힘든, 지금 각자 개개인이 다 힘든 상황 속에 있더라도 그 음악을 통해서 좀 위로를 얻고 살아갈 수 있는 힘을 많이 얻을 수 있었으면 좋겠다는 바람입니다.
I think the main title I would carry the most, it's just being musician and educator somehow, but you know, I think it's everything what we do in music is very personal. You know, of course there are kind of rules we follow about traditional rules about music making, but nevertheless there is not just one truth in music, so it's very personal what we think about music. And I think the great thing about when we talk about music, that it's very individual interpretation very often, and that's, I think, wonderful for all of us who are in this kind of business. You know, that we can exchange our expectations, our feelings, our experiences, and that makes it always very fresh, you know, and that keeps me up going somehow. And musically speaking, I think I want to be remembered as somebody who could express his feeling through his sound.